see Whistling Woods as a dream. I see Whistling Woods as, a commitment. I see it as a commitment to the industry that we have, got so much from and continues to give so many millions of people entertainment. I feel this is something that is our duty to give back to the industry in terms of trained talent. Artificial intelligence is going to take over. I think for us, we are very, very clear about this, and we know that AI is only going to enable efficiency in this process. We've had so many different technologies come into the world, and at the end of the day, human creativity is something that nobody can replace. AI can never feel like a human being. I think my Buddhist practice really streamlined the way I think, bringing Buddhist wisdom into my life, into my daily life of how I work with people, how I collaborate with people, how I treat people, really helped me somehow expand my day. I always tell people say, how do you fit in so much? And I was like, it's just that one hour in the morning that I spend chanting. I feel the whole day expands into a 48-hour day. It's
Wow.
like that.
So if you are looking for a career in film, media, or creative arts, this conversation is just for you. Today I'm joined by Meghna Ghaipuri. Meghna, welcome to Middays podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
Well, she is the leading figure at Whistling Woods International, and we are going to have an insightful conversation with her. Meghna, we are about to begin a new, fresh academic year at Whistling Woods. What are the key highlights? What students can really look forward to?
Well, the thing is that, I feel many of us, actually all of us, have a talent, right? We're all born creative in that sense. And I think a lot of us lose that along the way. So I feel for all those students who are looking for, really doing what they love, if they're creative, they're into photography, if they're into painting, if they're into fashion, or they're into watching movies or animation or gaming, it's an exciting time for them to look into careers that will allow them to really flourish in what they really are passionate about.
Right. So all, for the interested students who really want to take admission at Whistling Woods, what is the admission process like, and what really makes it unique as compared to other institutions in this category?
So one of the most unique things about Whistling Woods is that we are a private institute by the industry, for the industry. And so that makes us really unique because we are placed within the film city, and we have all our faculty are from the industry. It was started by somebody who's been part of the industry for 50 years now. So it is a very industry focused, practical, training institute. But we do have also a tie-up with the Tata Institute of Social Sciences for our university. So that makes us truly unique because we are an industry-led institution which also has the accreditation from an institution or a university like TISS that is truly known for its quality, and I think that is why our students go through a rigorous admission process. They have to go through a written exam and then an oral interview, as well as some of the students from design, gaming, basically the creative arts, do have to submit portfolios. So I think it's great. I think it's exciting to be applying for a course which you really want to do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Meghna, I'm sure there would be a lot of students who have extreme potential of performing well, but perhaps they don't have those financial means.
Correct.
So is there any opportunity through which they can get into your institute?
Yes, absolutely. So, let me put it out there first that film and creative education anywhere in the world is very expensive because there is a lot of technology, a lot of industry inputs, all of that is required, which costs money. Yet, at Whistling Woods, we try to really give our students much more than they are paying for. And having said that, we also do a lot of scholarships. So we have scholarships which are at the admission level, which are up to 50%. We do scholarship with students who really come from challenged backgrounds. So we have a special workshop for kids who come from NGOs, and we provide them with 100% scholarships because they really can't afford anything in terms of the fees. And then throughout the 3-4 years that they are on campus, we continue to give merit-based scholarships, so that students feel motivated to do well as well.
Right. Meghna, now the world is changing rapidly, and with each passing day, there is a new technology, new technique which comes up in this industry.
Yeah.
So, how does your curriculum actually keep up pace with the evolving nature of this media and entertainment industry?
Yeah, I mean, that's what our media and entertainment industry has always been. So, 20 years ago when we were starting Whistling Woods, we knew how dynamic this industry is, as well as the audiences are, and how fast technology changes. And there is no way that a film institute that is privately funded, which has no grants, or funding from anywhere, can afford to be kind of so technologically advanced. It was then that we decided that we were going to approach various technology companies to come and support us as partners. And that is why we have Sony as a partner. We have a Sony Technology Lab on campus, which is only the 3rd in the world. We have all sorts of, kind of equipment, as well as software that is given to us by our partners, and they keep upgrading it as the industry gets the upgrade. In fact, I would go a step ahead that a lot of the research on cameras happens on campus through Sony. So even if a camera hasn't entered the industry, our students are learning on it, which is a huge advantage for our students, because not only are they in tune with what's going on in the industry, sometimes they're also a little ahead of time.
Right. Also, Meghna, I'm sure you would agree that when it comes to this field, being on the set, being in the field, being on the job really matters a
Correct,
lot.
absolutely.
So, how do you integrate your students with the mainstream industry, on the job training? How do you actually implement this?
Like I said earlier, Whistling was, our philosophy of the school is that we want students to be able to find work, right? We don't want students who are struggling, and we want students to be able to understand how the industry works, really learn from the time they enter Whistling Woods. So that is an advantage that our students get, because we are, like I said, in part of the industry, right? Our parent company is from the industry. We are inside Film City. They're always seeing things, and plus our curriculum is designed in such a way that we make sure that they have very real life experiences. They have budgets, they have script pitches, they have all of that they will face in the industry. Time lines, which they have to adhere to. So making it most realistic, so that when they get out in the industry, they don't find themselves unemployable. They know that, I've done this already, and I'm already trained for this.
Right. Well, this sounds really exciting, and I'm sure a student at Whistling Woods surely won't be like, sitting inside a classroom throughout and maybe getting bored. So, if you can describe from all your observation and your implementation, how would a typical day at Whistling Woods look like for a student on the campus?
Well, first of all, no one day is the same, which is what's exciting about being at Whistling Woods, because if you give them the same schedule every day, then they get bored, and so every day is different for them. But typically, I think there would be, a few classes, a lot of practicals. They will be doing, sometimes I just enter the campus and I see students drawing, for example, when they're doing sketching class. Or there's a tripod set up somewhere with a crane and a trolley, trying to take shots of. So this is a regular exercise that they're doing for the class, but they're sprawled all across our campus doing this, and that also is the advantage of having a beautiful campus where students can use it for their creativity.
Right. Meghna, since the day you started personally at Whistling Woods, how much you have evolved. Since you are the doer, you are spearheading everything. But of course, I'm sure even you would have evolved with the entire process, how
Absolutely.
Whistling Woods has grown.
Yes, absolutely. And I always say that Whistling Woods is my first baby. And, it has really, like how a baby teaches their mother how to become a mother. Whistling Woods has taught me all that I know. I started very young, and I was like one of the very few. We were only 3 employees. To be honest, when we started, and we had a small office in Bandra that we were working on, and then the construction started. So I had the opportunity to be really part of curriculum development, architectural plans, legal papers, employing our first employee, all of that. And I think that marketing, branding, how the logo came about, how the name Whistling Woods came about.
And I'm sure like you're never really ready for this because you kind of learn it with the passage of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I came, I absolutely was a very fresh learner, because nobody, and all of us were, even if there were people with 30, 40 years of experience, it was new for them because nobody had ever set up a school like ours, right? It was so unique. So we did a lot of research. We went to various institutes all over the world and in India, and found our own, little kind of mission in Whistling Woods.
So from day one to today, how do you see Whistling Woods as an institution?
I see Whistling Woods as a dream. I see Whistling Woods as, a commitment. I see it as a commitment to the industry that we have, got so much from, and continues to give so many millions of people entertainment. I feel this is something that is our duty to give back to the industry in terms of trained talent. For an industry so large in India, we hardly had any courses that were teaching film, creative arts, gaming, animation, acting, writing, and all these different kind of courses. And so it is our commitment to the industry and to the world to really bring out world-class filmmakers and creative artists who can put India on the global map.
Right. Talking about filmmakers, Meghna, how does your institute really facilitate making portfolios? Because I think portfolio is something which really matters a lot in this field.
Throughout their 3 years or 4 years, the creative arts students, the design students do 4 years, and the film students do 3 years of undergrad. And then there's, of course, postgrad as well, 2-year postgrads. Throughout their time at Whistling Woods, they are making something. So they're always working on capstone projects, which will help them build their portfolio.
They always have something to show.
They always have something to show. So that is something that, and over time, we've actually increased those number of projects. They become smaller, maybe, they become more interesting, but they are more. So I think that is what helps them in the industry when they're going ahead and they want to show what they've done.
Right. Talking about such students, would you like to share some recent success stories or something really memorable, which you would want to share with us?
2 days ago, we had our alumni meet, and we've got about 4,000 plus students now working in the industry. And it was so wonderful to catch up with so many different people and see all the interesting work that they're doing. While we know we're in touch with most of them, but sometimes you lose touch in some, and with some, and they came back to campus, and it was a really nostalgic time. And I think every time I'm watching a movie or a TV show, there's always at least 4 or 5 names, of people who belong to Whistling Woods. And that makes me really proud. I think that is something that is our biggest achievement, really putting out trained talent out there in the industry. And not just that, forming a network of almost like a family. When we met 2 days ago, it felt like it was a family reunion, which is what makes it so special.
And Meghna, you are spearheading this family so fabulously. I'm really curious about your background. How did your journey actually begin? Were you always interested into this field? I'm sure you had your first-hand contact with this, but is it something you have always wanted to do?
No, actually, I was pretty clueless as a child. I had no idea what I was going to do. I was pretty average in all aspects, whether it was sports, so forget, below average, art, no, academics, not at all. So I really honestly didn't know what I was going to do. All I knew, my parents had always kept me very grounded, but they had always said that you must have a career. That was not an option.
You should be working.
It was not like ki shaadi karni hai. It was like nahi, career banana hai. Like shaadi was also not an option. They were like nahi karegi to chalega. So I think that for me, that was always at the back of my mind, that whatever I do, I will do it well, and I will make my parents proud. And I think as I went along, I studied, I finished my schooling, I went to boarding school in the UK, and then I decided to join a management school. So I did a business management course from King's College London, and I started exploring all the different aspects: finance, accounts, strategic management, business, HR, marketing. And I realized what I was liking more in that time in the college years. And then I did an internship. I stayed back in the UK and I did a job actually for a year and a half. And I think that taught me a lot because it was a startup. Yet I did not feel comfortable to be in films. I didn't want to be a filmmaker. I didn't want to be any on the creative side of filmmaking. I really did enjoy, the business and the people management aspect of it. So at some point I thought, okay, maybe producing would be it, because given the legacy that my father has built and the goodwill that he has, it would be a waste for me not to actually use it to, you know, help and enhance people's lives. So it was a natural progression that I was going to come back from London and join Mukta Arts. So that was going to happen. But what was I going to do at Mukta Arts? And I think that is when my father reminded me that he had a dream many years ago, and he had told me often about it, but I didn't think he would seriously take it up. And he spoke about this dream of Whistling Woods, that he wanted a place in Bombay, in Mumbai, where we could have, you know, people from various parts of the country come together, learn together, and then become friends for life, so that they can support each other in the industry. And that is when I, I said, yes, this sounds exciting. I wasn't sure about the scale of it. I thought it would, definitely, I did never imagined it to be as big as it turned out to be. But as we started thinking about it, we realized what a lacuna we had in the industry, that we just did not have enough trained talent. And so how important it was to build something like this. And that is where my journey started. And yeah, rest is history.
And see how beautifully it is just coming together.
Thank you.
Meghna, I'm sure there would be experts and stalwarts from the industry would be coming over at Whistling Woods and guiding your students in a wonderful way. The expertise they need.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have almost on a weekly basis, we have masterclasses, film forums where we bring the entire team of filmmakers, not just the directors and actors, but the editor, the screenwriter, the sound designer, so that all students feel inspired to do that role. And then we bring them onto campus. They have an interaction with students. We have something called the Fifth Veda, which is a beautiful get together of a maestro who comes in from one of the art fields and talks to the students about their journey of how they got where they got. So, you know, it's been, I mean, we've had hundreds now, I would even say 1,000 plus, master classes on campus. And every day when you enter the campus, you will see, posters put up, because we have so many schools now. We have 7 schools. So not just a film school, and we have fashion, and we have music production and composition, we have animation and gaming, we have visual communication design. So we have people from all the industries come together, and it's lovely to see that collaboration between students.
A goal perhaps your father imagined and you wished for, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So going forward, what is your vision for Whistling Woods?
So see, I think in the world of AI, everybody is worried that, artificial intelligence is going to take over. I think for us, we are very clear about this, and we know that AI is only going to enable efficiency in this process. We've had so many different technologies come into the world, and at the end of the day, human creativity is something that nobody can replace. AI can never feel like a human being. So I want to actually say to all those, aspirants out there who are really looking to join the industry but are scared because of this word AI. I feel like, when your basics and your foundation is strong in creativity, you will, today there's AI, tomorrow there'll be something else. You'll be able to battle any kind of technology that you face, and you'll be able to use it to your advantage, which is what technology is there for. So I think that I just want to say that for Whistling Woods, we are really gearing up towards the future. All our programs are, going to have tools, AI tools, so that students know how to use them to their advantage. And there's a lot of exciting stuff that's happening all the time. A lot of collaborations that we're doing with global partners, which makes Whistling Woods a truly global institute.
Actually, I was coming to that. What are your expansion plans like? Because I'm sure, from day one, you have really created a great institution. Maybe 5 years, 10 years down the line, are there any plans near or far that you have on your mind?
See, I mean, I would love to see the Whistling Woods campus expand. I would love to see more students come to Whistling Woods, more schools open up within the creative and entertainment.
A small village of its own.
Of course, yeah. And I think where the industry is where the institute should be. So I think our USP is being within Mumbai. But I would love to see us launch more programs, more AI-related programs as well, and really see the student body expand on campus.
So you have n number of things on your plate, Meghna, and this really brings me to the question: how do you balance your work, life. I mean, this institution has people from all over the world coming together to fulfill their creative pursuits. You spearheading this, I'm sure you would be a busy bee at work. But what is your, work-life balance like?
So first of all, it's never easy to find that balance, okay? Because you'll always end up, kind of leaving out something, which is okay. I think we need to really come to terms with that.
We can't have everything, and
we can't have everything. I give a lot of credit to who I've become as a person and as a leader to my Buddhist practice. I'm a Buddhist, and I think my Buddhist practice really streamlined the way I think, bringing Buddhist wisdom into my life, into my daily life of how I work with people, how I collaborate with people, how I treat people, really helped me somehow expand my day. I always tell people say, how do you fit in so much? And I was like, you know what, it's just that one hour in the morning that I spend chanting. I feel the whole day expands into a 48-hour day. It's
Wow.
like that, and I'm able to pack in a lot. So I think when you're centered, so what I'm trying to get at is that, and a lot of youngsters may watch this also, I don't think spirituality is something that we should shy away from. I think we should embrace it, because in this chaotic world, especially with social media, we should have something that centers us. And spirituality is really looking inward and looking at yourself, what is going to be my best version, right? And how am I going to help achieve and get to that best version of myself? And I think that is what makes people who they are. If you look at all the world leaders, somewhere they've been very grounded in themselves and they believe in themselves, right? A lot of my initial years was me doubting myself, and which is why I felt like I was failing everywhere. But as soon as I found my center, I was able to manage a lot better.
so amidst the chaos of the day, how do you maintain your sanity? I mean, because I'm sure it would be getting really crazy at times.
Yeah, but like I said, if you are spiritually strong, if you have your daily routine in place, I think a lot of it is about showing up for yourself.
What is your routine like? I'm pretty curious.
So I have two kids, and my 15-year-old son still goes to school. So he goes off to school around 6:37, quarter to 7. He leaves for school. So day kind of starts then. I start my day with chanting, and I chant for about an hour or so. I have been taking a break, but I do some form of exercise, either yoga or I go to the gym, and then start my day. I leave home around 9:30, get to work by 10:30 if there's no traffic, and then work is just like, I mean, it's like when you're doing what you love, you don't feel like you're going to work, right? So
what is it really excites you the most about films?
About films, I would say seeing the names of my students on the big screen or seeing their work. But
Right.
I think what is exciting about films in general is that it really takes you away from your reality, and
It transports you.
transports you into
Yeah.
another world. And not just the storytelling but the visuals as well, that really help you kind of de-stress in many ways.
Right.
Like everybody tells me, oh, filmmaking is such a difficult career, there's so much struggle, and I keep telling them that actually, if you think about it, entertainment is the only recession proof, along with maybe medical, because people need hospitals, and education because people need to be educated, but entertainment is something, and we saw that in COVID, right? We saw that we were all surviving only because we could watch things, we could listen to music, we could consume entertainment. So it doesn't matter what you learn, eventually you will use that creativity in some way or the other.
The world that you have created near Film City, Meghna, what sets Whistling Woods International unique? What sets it apart from the other institutes as we wrap up?
See, Shekhar Kapoor once said, and I'll never forget that because I really took that to heart. He said that Whistling Woods is an institute with a soul, and I think that soul is what makes us very different. The campus is vibrant. All the people who work at Whistling Woods, whether it's the faculty, the most senior most to the junior most staff member, whether it's a housekeeping person, they all feel like they own Whistling Woods, right? And I think that is the culture that we've cultivated, and that is what makes Whistling Woods so welcoming and warm. I feel a lot of the students and parents, when they enter the campus, that's the feeling they get of belonging, because that's the kind of environment we've created. We focus not just on making students filmmakers or designers or fashion designers. We focus on making them individuals, good human beings, good citizens of the world. And so many times on their graduation day, parents come up to us and say, you know, our child was so different when they joined Whistling Woods, and they're a completely different personality
Beautiful.
now. And I think that is really what
That would
makes
be
us
the most
different.
satisfying part of
Absolutely, it makes that makes all the difference.
Thank you so much, Meghna. It was so insightful talking to you.
Same here. Thank you for having me.
And you wonderful people, for more such insightful videos, stay tuned to Midday.
The world doesn't stop, neither do we. Subscribe to Midday for news that matters.